got started in animation quite accidentally. I did not go into animation intentionally. It just, I went to art school and I was going to study painting and drawing. And for some strange reason, that first year, there was a compulsory animation course, which everyone had to take as part of their core curriculum. And so I fought it all the way. I was not interested in animation at all. It never occurred to me to be involved in animation. And I was shown a lot of National Film Board films, and I definitely fell in love with the medium and stayed with it. It's because I had made films in school. I also got a chance to direct films with the National Film Board right away. So I made a few short films, and then I proposed the tender tale of Cinderella Penguin. Good people were always portrayed as beautiful, and evil people were always portrayed as ugly. And I wanted to sort of even the field, and I thought a good way to do that would be to make them all penguins. This is the story of Cinderella told with penguins. I wanted to tell the story without words, so I cut together a music track. I went into the NFB, National Film Board, stock library and took stock music and films that were used in other films, music that was used in other films, and I cut that all together first. And from there, I storyboarded the film and animated and choreographed it to this music soundtrack. The whole film was drawn directly on cell. There was no paper. There were no paper drawings. It was drawn on cell with a Croquil pen and India ink, and no line tests. It was the way I worked. It's a strange way. And since then, I don't work on cell at all. I've been happy to kiss it goodbye, and I've been working in digital for many years.
We both went into filmmaking, Wendy documentary, and I wasn't quite sure which direction I was going in. And we had an animation instructor, a guy named Hugh Folds, who just by being in the film department, you were peripherally involved with animation. And he showed great films, and some of those being the films of Caroline Leaf and Janet Perlman, also Yuri Norstein and the other great Eastern European filmmakers. And I think it hit both Wendy and me that this was a world you could have entirely to yourself. So I had been out on innumerable film shoots in the rain, in my slicker, and they'd give you canned chili for lunch, and you'd have zillions of people you'd have to organize, and you'd shoot a minute of film, and I just thought, I just want to do it all myself. And
the process was extremely non-linear, experimental. I think, and it's only in retrospect that I realize it's an extension of a preoccupation I had with cities. And I've always been struck by the intimacy with which we live in cities. We're very close to each other. We live cheek by jowl in apartments next door to people. But we're all strangers for the most part. But in When the Day Breaks, it expanded into thinking about the city as an organism, and that there are pipes and wires that run through cities which are like vessels carrying blood and electrical impulses, that kind of thing. Cities without the people in it are really just an infrastructure. And without people turning on the water, which is kind of the lifeblood which kind of connects us, and that the water I turn on in my house is coming from the same place as the house down the street. It's connective tissue, but it is really the people who live in it, kind of like the soul of a city is like the soul of an organism. That really is what's important.